different materials that can be used for the brake pad. Okay, non-metallic materials, semi-metallic, fully metallic, and ceramic. Okay, so ceramic or clay and porcelain. So over generations, it has been improved. Okay, based on the problems encountered. Okay, we have discussed about this, and also we have this compared between the differences between disc brake and the drum brakes. Okay, what are the advantages with that of disc brake and what are that with that of drum brakes? So 7 points we had discussed in the last class, out of which first 5 are disc brake oriented, that is the advantages of the disc brake, and the last 2 are the limitations of the disc brake. So comparatively, when disc and drum brakes are compared, yeah, disc brakes perform better. They give a efficient braking mechanism. Also, they are most proven compared to the drum brakes in case of safety features also. Okay. Okay. So far we have discussed 2 mechanisms. One is disc brake, different types, how it works, what are its advantages. The second is drum brake, how it works, what are its advantages, and so on. Okay. Now we have to discuss about the medium used for braking. So there are 3 different types. One is hydraulic brakes, which works on fluid. See, whatever cars we see, they usually work on hydraulic brakes. The second is pneumatic brakes, okay, which uses the medium as air, pressurized air as the medium for braking. And third is the mechanical brakes, wherein there will be no medium. So through the shaft and cylinder arrangement, whatever braking effort we put, it will be directly transmitted to the wheel, so that there will be a braking. So 3 types are there. First is the hydraulic, wherein some liquid will be used. Okay. The second is pneumatic, where air will be used as a medium, and third will be the mechanical braking, where some piston connecting linkages will be used in order to brake. So first, before starting the hydraulic brakes, I'll just give an example of hydraulic brake system. One of the best example is our automobile car. Okay, wherein there will be a fluid always. Whenever you leave your vehicle for service, they check the brake fluid, correct? Usually power steering fluid, brake fluid, and so on. That brake fluid is nothing but it's a light viscous liquid, okay, which can easily flow through the piston cylinder mechanism. Whatever braking force you apply, it will be magnified by a cylinder, and that fluid, pressurized fluid, will be passed on to the wheel. Okay. Next, air brakes. If you have observed Volvo buses, when they apply brake, if you sit at the back seat, you can hear a noise. Correct? So that noise is because of the pressurized air being released. So here air will be used as a mechanism. You can see as the load becomes more and more on the vehicle, as the vehicle becomes heavier, this hydraulic brakes will not be so efficient. Okay, with a small amount of pressure that you apply onto the pad, it should be magnified many times. The liquid should be pressurized many times, and it should be passed on to the wheels. Right? So that will not be efficient whenever the size of the vehicle increases and load on the vehicle increases. So in such cases, air brakes are preferred. See, the simple example is used. You can easily pressurize the fluid, I mean air, but pressurizing a liquid is not so easy. With a small amount of piston cylinder pressure, you can easily pressurize it. Okay. So before moving further, am I clear, audible to you? I've unmuted.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear? Any issues with the audio?
Voice is breaking, sir.
Voice is breaking.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear? Hello, is it okay? I think I have not muted anybody. Somebody has posted you have muted me. I have unmuted everybody. You can speak now. Any issues, you can talk to me now. If any issue is there, you can personal number. Is it okay? Hello? Is it okay? Okay, now I have once again reconnected. Is it okay now? Can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we will go ahead. Okay, so this shows the sketch of hydraulic brake system. Okay, so as I told you, hydraulic brakes are used only for low load vehicles, wherein a small amount of pressure will be magnified by a cylinder many times and the braking effect can be seen. Here there are two important components. One is the master cylinder. Okay, just I'll take 1 second. So this is the master cylinder. Okay, this is the master cylinder and this is the wheel cylinder. These two are the important components. The master cylinder is directly connected to the brake pedal, right? So whatever small amount of pressure you apply, it will be still it's too lagging. 1 second please. I'll change the network. 1 second, please be online all of you. Meanwhile, you can take down the sketch because here we have to discuss master cylinder and wheel cylinder separately with a different sketch so that you can understand the entire mechanism. Please make a rough note of the sketch. Are you taking down?
Yes, sir.
Please make a note so that we can discuss those two
Yes,
parts
sir.
separately. I am reconnecting with different network. Please keep doing it. I'll just come back. it audible now? Manish is saying yes. What about others? Mahesh, yes. Am I audible now clearly?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. Please take down the sketch because another two parts we have to discuss after this. It will be helpful if you take down the sketch. Is it done? See, most of you have unmuted, sorry, muted yourself. Just unmute. We'll have a discussion. Nothing.
Yes, sir.
Unmute yourself. Have you taken down now?
Yes, sir.
Is it done? Completed? Can we go ahead? Can we go ahead? Okay, Devika has replied yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now you can see the brake pedal here. Can you see that red bubble mark? So whenever you press the pedal, okay, the fluid inside the master cylinder will be pressurized. Okay, so that fluid will pass through this line, splits the fluid into two parts. One of the part will move towards the left and the other towards the right. Right. So this fluid, which is distributed by the distributor block equally, will move into the wheel cylinders. So each pipeline again is split into two parts. You can see here. So the fluid whichever flows here will be again converted to two parts and it will flow to the wheel cylinders on either sides. So all the four wheels will get the equal amount of fluid. Whenever you apply a brake, proportional amount of fluid will be pumped on all four. See, earlier we have discussed about the drum brake system, correct? In the drum brake system, what happens? There will be a piston and cylinder arrangement. Whenever the fluid flows into that, these two, whatever pads you can see, they move against, I mean, they move in outward direction so that this brake shoes will move apart and they will press the drum. Okay, between the brake shoes and the drum, there will be a brake pad, right? So the wheel will in turn face a friction and it will gradually stop. Okay, so this is the circuit of a hydraulic brake system. Okay, here the main important component is the master cylinder. Whatever pressure you apply onto the brake pedal, okay, that will be magnified many times by this master cylinder and it will pass that pressurized fluid into the distribution block. In the distribution block, again it will be equally splitted and it will move on to the all four wheels so that the braking can be effective. So here it is called as hydraulic brake because we are using the brake fluid for application of brake. If you want to discuss something, you can discuss. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just I'll wait for 2 minutes, take down, so that the next two components we can discuss in detail. The one is the master cylinder, second is the wheel cylinder. I have downloaded some photos, okay, which I can show you practically. I'll wait for 2 minutes. Please make a note of it. Vinay, what if air entraps into the fluid? No, it is completely a sealed mechanism. Air cannot enter into this. It's completely a sealed mechanism. See, wherever there will be a connection, there will be proper sealant will be applied. It's completely a sealed mechanism. If air, by chance, if there is any problem with the sealant and if air starts entering here, there will be leakage of fluid. So within a short period of time, you will face the lowering of brake. That is, whenever you apply the brake will not be effective. Okay. In such cases only they say that the sealant is damaged, or sometimes the hose, the pipes which connect may be damaged. Otherwise, it's completely a sealed mechanism. Any other questions? No, it's not the question of, see, Bharat he has posted a question. How pneumatic brakes are better than hydraulic? It's not the question of better or worst. Okay. See, at certain load, I mean, whenever the size of the vehicle increases and the load on the vehicle increases, pneumatic will be more efficient. Hydraulic brakes cannot be so efficient. See, each system has its own advantages and limitations, but depending on for what application you are using, you have to choose it. If you choose a pneumatic brake for a two-wheeler, there is no sense in it. Okay, for a small amount of load, maybe 100 kgs of vehicle load plus another 120 kgs of two-person sitting, there is no meaning in that, because the effort required by the driver will be more to operate pneumatic brake as compared to that of hydraulic brake. Okay, so depending on application, if it is a small vehicle, hydraulic brakes will be easier to operate, and that would be enough. If it's a huge like Volvo bus I was talking of, pneumatics will be better. So next question, Vinay again. As pressure increases, the temperature increases and viscosity may vary. The next part is not seen here. Now, temperature variation may not be so much high. Correct. You just imagine if cooking oil which you use at home, if the properties are, that is viscosity has to vary, it has to start boiling. So 60 to 70 degrees of temperature you have to add. Just imagine with small amount of brake. Okay, with this master cylinder, whatever you can see. Okay, here with that much you can the 60-70 degrees of temperature you cannot expect to be increased. The second part of the question I am not able to see. 1 second. What would be braking capacity? Well, that would not be a problem. Okay, we see temperature cannot vary like 100 degrees centigrade and all with a small braking effort. Any other questions? It's really great. Most of you are trying to understand and posting questions. Any other questions, please? Shall we move further? Okay. Now, the next important thing is we have to discuss about working of master cylinder, how the master cylinder works and how the wheel cylinder works, because these are the two important components in the braking mechanism. One is master cylinder, the second is the wheel cylinder. So we'll start discussing one by one. 1 second. The same thing whatever I've explained is here, you can see. Hello, Vinay. You can just go through the third point here. The system is designed such that the small pressure of 50 kPa is maintained always. With that pressure, you cannot expect temperature to go beyond our control. So viscosity, whatever we are discussing, the variation of viscosity of oil would not be a problem because small amount of expansion of fluid may occur there when temperature increases. It will not be a very big issue. Okay. So we'll start with the master cylinder, okay, which is important component, or it is also called as the heart of the hydraulic braking system. So this sketch represents the master cylinder. Okay. So this is the master cylinder which we were seeing in the earlier sketch. When the brake pad is directly connected to the this link push, whatever push link you can see here, whatever brake pedal will be there in the vehicle, it will be directly connected to this. Whenever you apply the brake, this rod will be pushed forward. Okay, the pressure will be building up. This is the portion where oil can flow into the main part of the cylinder, right? So whenever you push this, the inlet will be closed after certain time. Okay, as this part starts moving against the spring, so when it reaches this point, the inlet valve will be closed so that this oil cannot move into the cylinder. Okay, further when it is moved forward, okay, pressure of the fluid which is stored in this region will be increasing. You can see there is a fluid check valve here. This is called as the this T type, whatever you can see. This is a check valve. When the pressure crosses certain range, usually 50 kilopascal of pressure, when it crosses, okay, at once this valve will open and allow the fluid to move to the brake line. Okay, is it clear? Okay, I'll explain once again. I'll explain once again. So this is the fluid reservoir. I mean, whatever brake fluid there that will be stored. So this is the important part, which is the push directly connected to the brake pedal. As the brake pedal is operated, okay, so this push link will move forward, okay, against this spring. Okay, so here this is the inlet valve. Okay, oil can move here. Okay, initially this will be completely filled with oil. As this primary seal keeps moving, when it reaches this point, oil cannot move from the reservoir into the cylinder. Okay, so inlet valve will be completely closed. So further, when you pressurize, the pressure of the oil increases here. When it crosses 50 kilopascal, there is a fluid check valve. This T portion is called as a check valve. This check valve opens and it releases to the fluid to the from the master cylinder to the brake linings. Okay. From there, it will move to the all four cylinders. I mean, brake cylinders. So this is the working of the master cylinder. So as we discussed, it is completely sealed mechanism. Wherever there are openings, there are sealants. Right. So if there is any air getting entrapped here, efficiency of braking, it doesn't happen unless otherwise any of the hoses are damaged. Otherwise, the air cannot enter into the system.
Voice is fully breaking.
Sorry. If it is clear, I'll just show you a small animation now so that you can understand better.
Voice is breaking, sir.
Any questions are there? You just post here. I'll.
Okay, sir.
Can you see the animation now? Can you see this animation over screen now?
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Now you just can see here. This is the push rod which we were discussing about. Once again, see this is the push rod. Okay, so this will be directly connected to the brake pedal. When it moves here, this is the spring that I was discussing about. This is the inlet reservoir. Okay, so when you start applying the pressure, inlet reservoir will be closed so that no fresh fluid can enter into the cylinder. Okay, the remaining fluid will be pressurized and there will be a check valve here at the end. After certain pressure is reached, it will be given into the cylinders. So this is the heart of the entire mechanism. Is it clear? Okay. So this is the working of master cylinder. Next we'll come to the wheel cylinder. Okay. There will be 4 wheel cylinders, each cylinder for 1 wheel. So this is the portion where oil can enter. So there will be 2 piston-like things here. Whenever the oil enters, the pressure will be magnified, and these two move at opposite locations. Okay. So oil enters. When it enters, these two portions move away from each other, so that these two parts move away. These pistons will move away. You can see here. Okay, I've shown a dismantled brake. This is disc brake. So this is the brake shoe on which the brake pad will be attached and the wheel will be finally mounted here. This is the wheel cylinder. Okay. So wheel cylinder, the connection to the wheel cylinder somewhere here it will be there. We are not able to see here. So whenever you press the brake from the master cylinder, the fluid flows into the wheel cylinder.